Happy Friday, everyone. Jason Gilbo here at JGilbo11, breaking down pitching for tonight's 15-game slate. A loaded slate. This one's a lot of fun. A lot of good pitching, a lot of intriguing mid-range options. We have Coors, who I don't think it's going to quite play out like last night, but there's definitely some good offensive spots, a lot of high totals, which usually at this time of the year, it's what we get with the weather. Breaking down pitching, we'll go with Max Scherzer as the top option on tonight's slate. Do I think he's a must-play? No. Does he have the highest ceiling on the slate in terms of pitching? Yes. And looking at this Mets team, they could be rolling out a couple, guys that maybe not usually find themselves in the starting lineup. I know Conforto's a little bit banged up. Asdrubal Cabrera's, Neil Walker are on the DL. Those are two big bats out of the lineup. Conforto, as I said, banged up. So we might not get a great lineup. And you look at Max Scherzer, his struggles has come against lefties, and by struggles, I just mean he's been, still above average, but not quite Scherzer numbers. Still can give up a home run or two. You look at him, he comes in here with 4 straight double-digit strikeout starts: Texas, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco. Teams you'd expect him to dominate. I think the Giants one was the most impressive, as I said in the Pitcher Pulse article, just because they don't strike out a ton. But out of 13 starts this season, Scherzer recording double-digit strikeouts in 7 of them. 2 times he's faced the Mets this year, 16 strikeouts over 14 innings. Has allowed 8 earned runs over those 4 innings. A lot of them came off the long ball, 4 home runs. 1.43 home runs per 9 to lefties this season. That's the only real, red flag for Scherzer, which is more of a yellow flag. It's not that crazy. But look at Scherzer, 35.1% strikeout rate this year, 6% walk rate. Decent road favorite. Mets have one of the lowest totals on the board. Definitely like Scherzer. I'm definitely okay with paying the price tag if you can fit him in. There's a lot of value on this slate if you want to do so. But we do have some other spin-off options. And the first one is Luis Severino, who I love a ton. I love the drop down from Scherzer to like Severino on FanDuel, where it's about $3K. You look at Severino, he is absolutely solid. He's been around 7 or 8 strikeouts in 5 straight starts, 6 of his last 7. This A's team strikes out a ton, 24.6% strikeout rate. They rank 20th in WOBA. They're doing 6th in ISO, but a night game in Oakland, not a lot of balls are flying out there. Severino's been awesome. 258 WOBA to lefties, 271 WOBA to righties this year. Home runs per 9 drops on the road as expected. Doesn't walk a lot of guys. 55% ground ball rate. Road favorites. This one's in a really good spot. I like the other side of that game too, and this is crazy to say because not a lot of people like attacking the Yankees offense, and I don't blame them. This is obviously just GPP only, but if you're looking for like a sub 10% GPP arm, I'm really okay with Manea. 5-1 in his last 6 starts, 2.68 ERA, 3.48 FIP, 3.88 xFIP. Strikeout rate's been there. You look at him, he's got a really nice slider, throws it about 25% of the time. Yankees are 24th against sliders. He has a 44% strikeout rate on that slider. Changeup is his other pitch. It's solid as well, 28% strikeout rate, 21% swing strike rate, but Yankees do rank 3rd against changeup. So not a bad spot here. He is allowing a 37% hard contact rate. That's the only real issue with me, but the strikeout rate has been there. I like him a lot tonight in terms of a GPP just because he's going to be super low owned. I see a lot of people grabbing towards, Bijnani. I see a lot of people going towards Guerra instead. So he's an intriguing pivot. Carlos Martinez, this is a guy I like tonight. I wish the the ballpark was a little bit better. Those are my concerns on why he's GPP only. And I wish the price was a little bit cheaper. But he is a spinoff off of Severino and off of Scherzer. This is further dipping down the line if you're building multiple lineups. But Carlos Martinez could see a really, really right-handed heavy lineup tonight, and that bodes really well for him. 25.4% soft contact rate against righties this year, 54% ground ball rate. You look at his strikeout rate. He's been really solid. 236 will be allowed to righties this year with that 31.5% strikeout rate, only a 5% walk rate compared to 12.2 against lefties. You look at where he struggled this year: Cincinnati, Colorado, Milwaukee, and New York, the Yankees. Tough offenses, tough ballparks. Baltimore's offense just continues to be trending downwards. 23rd in WOBA against righties. ISO sits at 15th in the league, 22.5% strikeout rate. It's obviously a team that can explode at any time. I just don't see it happening. If they're rolling out 7 or 8 right-handed bats, if like only Kim is the only lefty in that lineup, they're in big trouble tonight. I'm not buying the run total. I don't think they're going to score a ton of runs. I know there's always potential with this team in terms of the weather as well, but it's risky. I like Martinez, though. I think he's an intriguing guy if you're building multiple lineups. Junior Guerra is that guy that I'll talk about here. Cheap SB2 on DraftKings on a slate with high-priced pitching, other top offenses. I'm okay with using him as an SB2. I'm not going to jump all over and say he's a must-play. I'm not going to be locking him into lineups. I feel like people are. Yes, 2.45 ERA this season. Yes, he was fine last year. But FIP, XFIP over 5, 219 BABIP, 92% left on base percentages. These numbers aren't going to hold the rest of the year. The walks are also an issue, 12% walk rate, 16.5% strikeout rate. I do expect that to improve a little bit if he can start putting away hitters, which tonight he should be able to. 10.5% swinging strike rate. Over his career, 266 WOBA to lefties, 301 WOBAs to righties, 230 ERA at home. Definitely some luck involved with Guerra's numbers, but I'm okay with using it for one more start. But I'm definitely going to be ahead of the curve, stacking against Guerra here and kind of picking on him a little bit or just fading him in spots. Tonight probably won't be one of those just because San Diego's so bad against right-handed pitching. Bottom 5 in WOBA, ISO, WRC plus, and K percentage. They have a bottom 3 strikeout rate against righties, so I'm okay with it. Guerra's a home favorite. Don't mind using them, but once again, those numbers are still a little bit lucky. Talk about some other names. Those are kind of my core guys, but we'll talk about guys that I'm on a little bit, but not as much as maybe I would if they were in different scenarios. Carlos Carrasco, I'm okay with using him on DraftKings and tournaments. He's looked a little bit off, but a decent spot against Minnesota, who strikeout rate's starting to climb up a little bit. James Paxton's in a really tough spot here against Texas, but I love the matchup. I wish this game was in Seattle just because they do struggle against lefties so much, but Paxton's been really solid this year, touching about 96 on average with his fastball, 27.1% strikeout rate, 13% swinging strike rate, keeping the ball in the park. This is just a tough spot, though, just weather-wise and ballpark-wise, where I could see him – DraftKings, I could see him using a little bit more FanDuel. I'm a little bit off of him. Paxton's price, 8,800 on DraftKings, isn't bad. So with that being said, I'm definitely okay with firing away. DK, more of a GPP guy for me. I don't know if I'll be quite going that way in cash games. Alex Wood, I don't know if he quite has the upside for the price. I just don't like targeting against this Reds lineup. I know a couple of guys are banged up, so you might get a watered-down lineup. I just don't think I'll be going this way. I like what he's been doing this year, but the price is just getting a little bit too expensive for me. And the Reds just aren't a prime matchup. So outside of that, I mean, Biagini is a guy you can somewhat consider. I don't know if he has a ton of upside on this slate. White Sox have been pretty average of late, and average, they're not below average like we were targeting the first couple of weeks. So I'm okay with them. I love the ground ball rate. It's near 60%, 21.4% strikeout rate. Velocity is starting to drop a little bit with him. That's a concern, but he's okay. Once again, on a full slate, you can probably get away with using it. He'll have a decent start. Aaron Nola is a guy I really want to like here. 10.2% swinging strike rate, 22% strikeout rate, inducing 24% soft contact, keeping the ball in the park, 1.00 homes per 9. You get this Arizona team that just really struggles on the road. And the last time I picked on them was with Buck Farmer, and that we didn't see that go too well. But this is a spot where I can see Nola having a decent start with some strikeout upside that no one's going to be on. But tough ballpark in this time of the year. Arizona still doesn't have some pop, but there is some strikeout upside. So I'm not going to completely rule out Nola. I'm probably going to have a share or two just to get some and hope that strikeout upside hits. So that's that for them. But outside of that, I mean, those are probably the only guys that I'll be considering on this evening. So definitely about 8 guys you can consider and feel pretty comfortable with. So let's wrap things up. You can head over to DaveFantasyCafe.com, check out our rated tools and content.